Kiara came here first and foremost to be a leader.
When you talk to her one-on-one, she's very sweet, very engaged, very noticeable and cares. But then as soon as she steps on the court, there's some sort of switch that happens, and you can truly see it in her eyes, that she then becomes competitive.
Kiara is a really confident and really hardworking person, and what I really admire about her is her talent and the way she just moves on the court.
The team kind of felt like, hey, here is a setter we can count on. Here is a setter that listens. Here is a setter that wants to get better.
Kiara is very family-oriented, and she will do everything for the team.
Family means everything, actually. It's just the center of a person's being. It's also like your support group as well, like a life support group.
Hey, Mom.
We hold hands, we kiss, we hug all the time. You know, we always say that we love you to each other.
I absolutely love my family, but with that thing that's so beautiful, there's also a price to pay with it. And that price that I found out at a very young age was not having them there. My dad was in the Special Forces in the Army, and my mom has served about 20 years in the Air Force. From early ages, I could tell that there was always something missing when my parents were deployed. But I knew that there was a greater purpose, and I owe all of my success to my parents, especially their backgrounds, because I know just being in the military, they're very hardworking, diligent people. From the very early stages, life was hard, but they never showed that hardship. I think my mom may have been 23, 24, right when she enlisted, got in, went to training, went to basic, while me and my sister were still little kids. And my mom just did absolutely everything she could to make sure that me and my sister's dreams could come true, even if she wasn't standing next to us holding our hands the entire time. My grandparents live in Hawaii, so when my parents would get deployed, if one of them were here, we would go and live with my grandparents. I didn't really understand what was going on at the time. I mean, after being away from home for 6 months, 7 months, 8 months, I was really missing my parents. I was like, why are we here?
Tearing myself away from my family is always the hardest part. And once you realize that your family is in good hands, when I get deployed, it's like, okay, let's get to work. Let's get this done. Everyone pulls their weight, and you come together and you just make things work, and you just move on till the next class comes in.
My mom has really, really impacted me just as a woman in general. It's very empowering to see women in the military, let alone being very successful, and I know my mom is very successful.
It teaches you resilience. It teaches you how to adapt to where you go to, from a school that's stationed on base to a school that's off base. And my kids, especially Kiara, she had to adapt to where she was at.
I went to 2 different high schools, 2 different middle schools, 3 different elementary schools, and almost each year I lived in a new house. But there was always one thing that was always really consistent wherever I went, and it was volleyball. I picked up the game really, really young, and I'm really glad that my parents really enforced it on me, because I always had that one thing to lean back on.
McKibben, quick to Sierra Simpson, got it.
As I grew up, my relationship with volleyball started changing too. Yeah, the love still stayed the same, but then it kind of became a part of me.
And Doherty wins the 3rd set and the match to become the 5A Girls High School state champions.
You know, Kiara is now in a college age, and hopefully she looks at it and say, I have this chance here to come up and give back to my parents. This is what we learn with service. We always give back. Now can she give back to her parents and say, look, this is my daughter. I'm proud she's leading the Dons to the next level.
It's just amazing how she's grown as an athlete, and just being the position she plays, a lot of pressure is on their shoulders.
I've seen the progression from freshman to a sophomore, and then her junior year, it's just she just keeps getting better and better and better.
I think she has the right mindset, the right heart in place, and she can be really special, but how far she wants to go and how far she's willing to push herself, that's what's going to determine how far she will grow in whatever path she'll go beyond USF.
There's the McKibben serve. This is going to be an ace.
When I go to grad school, I really want to go to ROTC. I am looking to be an officer in the Air Force. I really think it's important to give back to your community, especially with a powerful country we live in. There are so many sacrifices made just for us to be here and have the gratitude that we have today.
Just having the ability, to educate yourself and serve your country, I think you're doing a great thing. Because I believe all kids, before college or after college, should serve in one distinction, one branch or the other.
Yeah.
To appreciate the freedoms that we have,
Exactly.
to see the sacrifices that young men and women make for this country.
Your dad and I always thought that you'll just have an amazing time because you'll learn so many things and you meet so many great people. You do, because throughout my career I've met amazing people that taught me a lot, and one thing that the military has taught me is patience. When you join the military, you're able to see what we actually do out there in the field and realize, what we do for our country.
It's for the kids that are more dedicated than others, because it's tough on your mind, your body, your spirit, but it makes you a better person in the long run.
She's got a good head on her shoulder, and she's got great people that love her, and just the direction she's heading, I'm very excited to see what her future holds.
What I saw growing up and how I am today, the way I am right now, like a hardworking person that I don't take anything for granted. I know I'm here for a reason. I owe that to my family, like the way I grew up, and especially my mom.